Fellow Toastmasters and honorable guests, good evening.
Good evening.
We welcome you all to the PR and membership workshop organized by Area 33 of Division I, District 20. This is Toastmaster Rinosh Kurian Thomas, your Chief Sergeant at Arms for today. We have viewers from Bahrain and Kuwait joining this meeting and eagerly waiting for the workshop to begin. To ensure that we have a smooth running of the online meeting, we kindly request you to keep your mic muted. You may keep your video switched on. However, please make sure you turn off your camera if you must leave your screen for any reason. Silence is a noble virtue. We are here today to hear from expert panelists on PR tips and how to enhance and grow your club membership. We will be having a Q&A session after the panelists have presented their topics, and you may write your questions in the chat box directly to the moderator or host who will get them addressed. Now, let's all read the district and club mission. District mission. We build new clubs and support all clubs in achieving excellence. Club mission. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. With this, I would like to introduce the Master of Ceremonies to take you for the further proceedings. She is a dynamic and vibrant Toastmaster for over 2 years, current President of Indian Academy Toastmasters Club, Area 34 Assistant Director PQ. She is a software engineer by profession and lives by the motto, believe, energize, cultivate, peace. With a round of applause, help me welcome our MC for today, Toastmaster Junita Mariam John. The stage is all yours.
Thank you, Chief Sergeant at Arms, for that warm welcome. A very good evening, one and all. A warm welcome to this PR and marketing workshop. We all know the beneficial aspects of public relations in this business world. Their wide-ranging efforts serve the same purpose, which is to build relationships and generate goodwill. Tonight, we have been graced by a panel of erudite, distinguished Toastmasters who are here to share their seasoned experience in designing and building relationships in Toastmasters. Before we start our workshop, let us all welcome our role player who is responsible for keeping us on track with regards to time. None other than the timer for today. A MCA graduate, her passion lies in learning and improving leadership skills, which in turn embarked her Toastmasters journey 6 months back in Bahrain Pan Palkar Toastmasters Club. She is none other than our current PR manager of Division I. Let us all welcome Toastmaster Tamal Selvi to read out the time criteria. Toastmaster Tamal Selvi, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Master of Ceremony. Distinguished Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, and guests, good evening to one and all. As a timer, I will be chiming the PRM workshop as scheduled in our circulated agenda. I will also alert all panelists and role players of the time they have left using the virtual background by green, yellow, and red color, which denote specific timestamps. I hereby request all the panelists and role players to pin my screen to keep a track of your allotted time. The time limit for panel discussion session is 30 minutes. At 20 minutes, I will change my screen as green virtual background. At 25 minutes, I will change my screen as yellow background. At 27 minutes, I will change my screen as red background. 3 minutes as grace time. The time limit for Q&A session is 10 minutes. At 5 minutes, I will change my screen as green virtual background. At 7 minutes, I will change my screen as yellow background. At 8 minutes, I will change my screen as red background. 2 minutes as grace time. Thank you. Over to Master of Ceremony.
Thank you, timer. Now, let us all welcome the driving force behind today's event. The man behind the wheels to give his address. Born and brought up in Bahrain, his hobbies include eating, playing football, and definitely annoying his mom. He joined Toastmasters to improve his leadership and communication skills. Lives by the motto, Arsenal is life. Friends, let us welcome our event chairman, Toastmaster Thomas Matthew. Toastmaster Blesson Thomas Matthew. Toastmaster Blesson, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Master of Ceremonies. Honorable Division I Director, DTM Ella Margu, District 20 CGD DTM Khalid Abdullah, District 20 PRM TM Maram Al Aradi, and Area 33 Director Farida by Tanzir. Fellow Toastmasters, panelists, and all guests present here today, a warm good evening to all of you. Before I get into my task, I would like to request everybody that has their video switched on, please, because I have a little activity that I want some of you to do. Okay. So, okay, now everyone that has their videos on, please smile like your life depended on it. So amateur, TTM Khalid Abdullah, show them how it's done. Just like, look at that smile. Everybody look, just look, show them how it's done. All right, with that out of the way, I remember when TM Farida asked me to take up the role of chairperson for this meeting. Actually, she didn't ask me, she technically forced me and blackmailed me and all, but yeah. I was very confused because I didn't know what planning means. The only thing I plan is what to eat next. Other than that, nothing, absolutely nothing. That's the extent of my planning. But luckily, God blessed me with an organizing team filled with passionate, energetic, creative, experienced Toastmasters. So technically, I was lazy. I didn't have to do anything. They did everything. I just sat back and chilled. The event is the result of their hard work and amazing team effort. Hats off to all of them. They did an amazing job in getting this meeting here. This program basically has been structured keeping in mind that due to the current pandemic situation, most clubs are finding it difficult to advertise themselves, generate new ideas, increase members, and also keep the members that they already have. The aim of today's discussion is to help clubs overcome these problems through better public relations and marketing ideas. We have a lineup of 4 experienced panelists who will be discussing on better PR and M activities to increase your membership, promote your club activities, and keep your existing members also. With that, I don't want to bore you with more details. I want you to enjoy the meeting as it is. So I'm going to leave you with the thought that public relations specialists make flower arrangements of facts, placing them so that the wilted and less attractive petals are hidden and the sturdy ones bloom. With that being said, I'm going to take this opportunity on behalf of the organizing community to welcome all of you present here. Please enjoy the meeting that's going to happen now. And back to you, and thank you, MC.
Thank you, Toastmaster Blesson, for that insightful thought. Our next address is by a prominent figure in Toastmasters, a professor in management and French, IGNOU Overseas Director, Chairman of the Indian Academy, Founder Chairman of Indian Academy Toastmasters Club in 2014, a multi-role player at all levels. Let us all welcome our Division I Director, DTM Elamurgu, for his address.
Thank you, Junita. Content is a fire. Social media is a gasoline. Once Jay has quoted, division directors, area directors, and PQD, CGD, area director particularly, TM Farida, chairperson, MC, good evening to one and all. I hope this PRM meeting, PRM workshops will help definitely for all the clubs. As we said long back in the flyers, in a general clubs, it will definitely increase the members if they are attending this, and we have a lot of mottos on that. It will increase the members as well as it will increase the related activities. It will help us to retain our members. Really, if it is a corporate club, it will motivate our employees as well as it increase the employees' ideas and it generate new ideas in our areas. If I taking as a community clubs, this will help to advertise this all their clubs activities and help their members to learn more in PRM workshops. Actually, this type of workshop is really needed during this time. We are unable to meet each other, at least by online we are doing, by Zoom we are meeting. By the way, we have to definitely increase our time to spend in our meetings and to collaborate and to bring new ideas. Really, it will help us to make it. We have very nice, very excellent, we can say fabulous panelists are going to present now today. It is a great opportunity for us to be with them and to learn from them. It's really, I'm very happy to invite them to do this 10X PRM. I hope the PRM workshops will help all our Toastmasters and other clubs also. Wish you all the best. I hope everybody will enjoy this PRM. Thank you very much. Over to MC.
Thank you, DTM Elamurgu, for your visionary address. Our next personality is someone who greets everyone in the Toastmasters family with warmth and love. Member of 3 clubs, Bapco Toastmasters Club, St. Paul Toastmasters Club, and is the current president of Bahrain Advanced Toastmasters Club. His purpose in life is to lead his kids with an example of being an exemplary father, and which is why he joined Toastmasters. Let us all graciously welcome our Club Growth Director, DTM Khalid Abdullah.
Thank you so much, Master of Ceremonies, Toastmaster Junita. District 20 PRM, Toastmaster Maram Al-Aradi. Division I Director, DTM Al-Margo, Wanakam. Division F Director, DTM Kajitan. How can I miss her today? Area 33 Director, who has just jumped from another meeting just like me, Toastmaster Farida Bai. Area 21 Director, Toastmaster Priscilla, and ever charming chairperson for tonight. Can we see your biggest smile? Yeah, Toastmaster Blessing, really proud of you. And all of Area 33 members, residents, and guests. Good evening to one and all. When Toastmaster Farida texts me saying, well, we need to have a PR to have more members, I was not really sure what was that. And especially when I had those 3 flyers, one after the other. I was saying, Toastmaster Farida, I had to ask her a few times, but then the penny just dropped. That's exactly what we want at this moment. And yes, that's making the CGD as well happy. Well, there are other CGDs also happening now, and this is also not expected, but that's fine. Fine, I'll continue this way. PR, and that's what we are for, our personal brand. What's brand and what is brand, by the way? Brand is what people say about us when we are not in the room. And this is exactly what this session is all about. What people say when we leave the room as Toastmasters. Do they come back? What happened for those who don't come back? I think our panelists today will definitely discuss all of these and will make the so-called CGD happy, because we are really in tough situations. And I won't pour you with all of the figures of clubs which are not functioning these days. But I'm sure with such gathering, with such ideas, PR is all about creativity. And I heard Division I Director saying, yes, we are now in virtual meetings. And this is also creativity. So creativity and leadership, I think, goes hand in hand during such difficult times. Don't want to take long. Thank you so much for being you. Thank you so much for caring about that specific problem that we have currently. And thanks for enjoying the Toastmaster journey. Please stay safe. Over to you, Master of Ceremonies.
Thank you, DTM Khalid Abdullah, for your inspiring words. And I think what was more entertaining and inspiring was your son just peeping in and addressing the audience. So thank you so much for that. Moving on, our next addressee is a young, sweet, beautiful, and dynamic person. A chemical engineering graduate working as an environmentalist specialist at the Supreme Council for Environment. She's loved singing, horseback riding, bowling, and swimming. Current treasurer for the Young Adult Toastmasters Club. Area 2 Public Relations Manager. Ladies and gentlemen, this is none other than our dynamic and sweet District 20 Public Relations Manager, Toastmaster Maram Al-Aradi.
Thank you so much, our Lord Master of Ceremonies, for the evening. Club Growth Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Khalid Abdullah. Division I Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Ila Murugu. Area 33 Director, Toastmaster Farida Bai. Past and current district leaders, area leaders, and division leaders. Fellow Toastmasters, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It gives me great pleasure to be here with you tonight. And as a public relations manager, I wholeheartedly support area public relations initiatives, such as this one. And I believe this is the second or the third PR initiative generated from an area level. So kudos to you, Toastmaster Farida Bai, our AD, for actually approaching me since August. I believe this is a fruit of about 2 months in progress, and it is really phenomenal that it is starting from an area level. As a district public relations manager, I cannot do it alone. As Brother Khalid, our CGD, says, I cannot do it alone. It is an effort of the entire members of District 20. So coming from an area really means a lot to me. Public relations is such a wild field, and it's not just about designing meeting posters. And many members actually fail to realize that public relations is the portal to the outside world. It is the portal to the audience, to the non-members, to the general public. And it is the image that we carry outside of Toastmasters. And as public relations officers, they are responsible to carry the Toastmasters brand professionally and with pride and confidence and integrity. So I am glad that the members are starting to be more aware of public relations and branding. And still, we realize that there's a gap that needs to be filled. So we actually have about more than 140 clubs in the district, and several of them are facing membership issues. I know Distinguished Toastmaster Khalid did not share the numbers with you, but it is something that also keeps him awake at night. And as Club Growth Director and Public Relations, we are supposed to work together, whether it is on an area level or a division level or a district level. So we have to be able to attract more members, and we have to help these struggling clubs. Unfortunately, we have about 60 corporate clubs that are struggling up to date. And as leaders, it is our duty to help these clubs. And this initiative here tonight is one of the many, hopefully, many of the methods or ways that we are extending a helping hand to these clubs. I hope all the members here today will take something valuable with them home and discuss it with their ExCom and members to implement them and hopefully excel and be able to help their clubs grow further. Thank you, our area director, Toastmaster Farida Bai Tanzir, and our event chairperson, Toastmaster Blessin Matthews. And to the all organizing committee, all the best, and wishing you a great success tonight. Over to you, Master of Ceremonies.
Thank you, Toastmaster Maram, for your lovely words. Next up, this Toastmaster is often referred to as the Iron Lady in Toastmasters. Having a sweet yet bold persona, member of 3 clubs, Falcon Toastmasters Club, Angel Toastmasters Club, and St. Paul's Toastmasters Club. She was also the ambassador representing Bahrain for the year 2019 and 20. Let us all wholeheartedly welcome our Area 33 Director, Toastmaster Farida Bai Tanzir.
Thank you very much, Master of Ceremony. I was actually thinking that at least here I will not hear the word the Iron Lady, but again, in the whole of Toastmasters, I believe people just call me Iron Lady. I don't know why, maybe because I fight a lot. But yeah, thanks a lot for that lovely introduction. Let me just acknowledge the presence of the dignitaries. Our Club Growth Director, District 20 Club Growth Director, DTM Khalid Abdullah, District 20 PRM, Toastmaster Maram Al-Aradi, our Division I Director, DTM Elamurugu. We have our Division H Director, DTM Kajetan. We have our Area Director, DTM Priscilla. I don't remember the area number. I'm really sorry. We have many other dignitaries here. A warm good evening to all. I haven't prepared anything specific because I am not a person who can speak in a prepared speech. I even told the chairperson, don't keep my address because that's actually not necessary, but he gave me this thing to address. So as Toastmaster Maram said, we have been planning for this PR workshop from August, but as the clubs were struggling for the October membership, we just, delayed it because I wanted my clubs to just renew their members however possible. And I didn't want them to take their concentration somewhere else. But after the October renewal, the truth came in front of us that we have been losing many members. It is due to, of course, the virtual part. There are financial problems. Members feel that there is nothing new in the club to, come and join and give their time where they can give the time to the family. So that is when we started seriously thinking about what we can do for the clubs to come up. And as you all know, in Area 33, we have one community club, one corporate club, actually to say two community clubs, one corporate club and one general club. But the second community club have turned themselves into a general club because of the issues that they are facing to advertise themselves in their own community. So after the October renewal, I realized that we need to work on something together, because I personally, as a area director, I didn't want my clubs to die. I want them to stay alive. I want them to be strong. I want them to be energetic. I want each and every member to enjoy this journey of Toastmasters like how we do. And so I kept the gun on Toastmaster Blesson to take up the chairperson part. And unfortunately, he had no other choice but to say yes to the Iron Lady, and he did. And here we are, the final result of our teamwork, that we are here for the PR workshop. What we basically want is the club or the ExCom or the members to know how to advertise themselves, how to show, how to increase their club activities, how to show to the world that they exist and what is happening inside the club and what are the benefits they can give to the non-Toastmasters who can join the club. And with that final result, today, actually just few hours back, the world champion Toastmaster Mike Carr said, victory is actually not the result. Victory is the try. So here we are trying for that victory. And I'm very sure that after this wonderful panel discussion, that we are going to achieve that final part, which is the victory. So here DTM Khalid Abdullah have given us the numbers as well. 49 clubs requires coaches, 17 clubs are inactive, 12 of them are corporate, 9 are with 0 members. So we cross our fingers and we hope that we can help these clubs as well in coming back and be strong and be alive in Toastmasters. Saying this, I hand over the, yes, CGD, we all are praying, inshallah. So saying this, I hand over the control back to the Master of Ceremonies, and I hope we all have a wonderful workshop. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Farida, for your lovely and inspiring words. Now, dear friends, it's time to get enriched by the magic of this workshop. We have been graced by the esteemed presence of power-packed Toastmasters who are here to throw their light on public relations and marketing. The dynamic 4 panel includes Toastmaster Taki Abdullah. Toastmaster Taki Abdullah is the Vice President Public Relations Manager at Babco Toastmasters Club. He joined in late 2018 and has been actively contributing to the club ever since. He is a senior process engineer at Babco and has a master's in chemical engineering from Newcastle University, UK. Our second member of the panel, Toastmaster Nada Camber. She has been a Toastmaster for over 8 years, who finds it to be a rewarding experience. She has given her support and assistance in area, division, district, as well as in multiple other events across the community in Bahrain. She spends most of her time as a senior editorial designer at Camber Designs and is gracefully honoring her inner work as her spirit junkie. Nada is a firm believer in taking things one day at a time with a smile and a positive affirmation. Also, she adds that has to have a good hair day. Third, Toastmaster Kejetan Baroto. He is a certified trainer, public speaker, behavioral assessor, and a passionate Toastmaster. He works as a general manager for Dow Information Systems, a software-based company in Kuwait. Kejetan joined Toastmasters in August 2017 and served as a club president, VP Education, area director, and is currently the Division F director. He achieved the Distinguished Toastmaster status in June 2020 and was also awarded the prestigious District Toastmaster of the Year for 2018 to 2019 during DTAC 2020. And finally, the last member, DTM Nancy George. She served as a club PR, club VP Education, and club president. Additionally, she also served many roles as a division PR and division program quality. She has also achieved various accolades at club, area, and division levels. District champion for the year 2018 to 2019 in the Table Topics and Evaluation Contest. So that's it. We have our dynamic 4 panels. And on that note, let me hand the control to our lovely moderator for tonight's event, District 20 PRM Toastmaster Maram Alaradi.
Thank you so much, Master Ceremonies, for that lovely introduction. And I'd like to welcome everyone to the panel discussion and the highlight of today's event, where we will learn more about the different clubs that we have in Toastmasters, the struggles that we face in terms of sustainability and membership, and learn how to overcome these hardships and grow further into healthier clubs. We have a distinguished panel of judges with a whole lot of knowledge and experience to share with you tonight. So let us welcome our 4 musketeers, Distinguished Toastmaster Nancy Bijoy, our past District 20 PRM, Distinguished Toastmaster Kejetan Baroto, Division F Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Nada Camber, our immediate past Area 2 Director, and Toastmaster Taqi Abdullah, the Vice President of Public Relations of Babco Toastmasters. So, being part of a legacy corporate club, which is considered one of the oldest clubs in Bahrain, that is Babco Toastmasters Club. Toastmaster Taqi Abdullah, can you please explain to us more about corporate clubs?
Thank you, Toastmaster Maram. So as the name suggests, Toastmaster, the corporate clubs are affiliated with organizations, with corporates. And there are 2 different types of corporate clubs. There are the closed corporate clubs and the open corporate clubs. The closed ones, so the closed ones will be will accept members only from the company that is sponsoring the club. The open ones will accept members from outside the company as well. Babco Toastmasters Club, for example, is a closed corporate club. It only accepts members who are employees in Babco itself. And that's the corporate club in short. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Taqi. We will now go on to our second type of the clubs with the Distinguished Toastmaster Kejetan Baroto. With your impressive journey as a Toastmaster who served in eminent leadership roles, would you tell us more about community clubs? How are they different from corporate clubs?
Thank you, Maram. In fact, I'm a member of a community club, though I don't belong to that community. I'm a proud member of ASSP Kuwait Toastmasters Club, And I was fortunate enough to be assigned their mentor when they first started. And what is a community club? Generally, a community club is based around an existing community. In this case, ASSP stands for American Society of Safety Professionals. So they have an organization with, I think, a couple of hundred of members. And it was essential for them to have good communication skills, because in safety field you need to be able to communicate the message of safety to your target audience, to the managers. So that's essentially, if you have a society around a certain area, like in this case safety professionals, you could have a society of engineers, a society of doctors, for example. And then within that society, they want to build the communication and leadership skills, and they sponsor the club, much like how Taki said about corporate clubs. This entity sponsors the club, and it could be, again, open or closed. Then that becomes a community club. And the idea behind the community club is when the people who come for those meetings all come from a shared kind of experience, safety professionals. So when I attend these meetings, you can expect all the icebreakers are on safety. The research and presentation topics are all on safety. So you get a lot of safety information, and you get to learn a lot on that particular field. I must say I'm very happy with the way this ASSP specifically performed. They started a club in the middle of the year. They ended the year as a president distinguished. Next year, president distinguished. And they are now in the third year. And for sure, I believe they will end up also president distinguished, a very thriving club. And so that's the type of the things that as Toastmasters, we can impress upon these societies, these communities, how they can build their communicators and leaders within that society.
All right, then we will actually hear about the success stories, I guess, in the coming fields. So thank you for that, Distinguished Toastmaster Cajetan Barreto. We will hear from Distinguished Toastmaster Neda Kamber with her impressive 8 years in Toastmasters and District 20. Distinguished Toastmaster Neda, can you brief us about the general clubs that we have? So we heard about the corporate clubs, we heard about the community clubs. So what makes a club general, let's say?
Thank you, Toastmaster Maram. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening to you all. As for the normal clubs, general type of clubs, these are the clubs that form majority of the Toastmasters community all over the world. That is the whole Toastmasters. These clubs are not very different, but they are different from the community and corporate clubs because they're not tied to a community or a company. So they are solely their own type of club. So these clubs may also come with a certain terms and conditions before a member joins in. So let's take a Bahrain club, Bahrain Toastmasters Club, which is at Asima Toastmasters. One of the terms is that all the members have to be female. It's an all-female club, and they're not a community club, so they're just a general club. Another example would be Young Adult Toastmasters or Bahrain Elite Toastmasters Club. Their condition is they only accept young adults or people who are of a young age, Generation Z, Generation Y, maybe even a little bit older than that considering the XCOM. But these type of clubs, they only accept members from a certain age group. So the general club is solely on their own type of club with their own sort of condition or their theme that make them different from other people. So I hope that clarifies it.
Thank you so much. That was very clear, Distinguished Toastmaster Neda. So as a past district public relations manager, DTM Nancy Vijoy, can you introduce to us your role or the role of the public relations manager for the district?
Thank you, Tia Madam. So from my experience and from what I've seen, there are three main important roles that a public relation manager does. Starting with one, the public relations manager is the voice of the district. Starting from the district office to its members, all the way to Toastmasters International. You, this year, are our voice, madam. Second, a public relations manager helps members align the district mission and vision, which in turn aligns with the TI's vision and mission, and in communicating this plan to achieve the whole mission. And this is where the PR comes, communicating the plan of the district and Toastmasters International and aligning it with the members' goal. Third, the most important role of a PR. And I would say this is the utmost important role of a PR, is to turn our members into self-motivated brand ambassadors of Toastmasters. If the members are self-motivated and if they stand up on their own, then you don't have to do anything. They will speak for the district. They will speak for the PR. And keeping them there is the job of a PR. Over to you.
Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Nancy. That was really lovely. So we will now learn about more into depth about how we can grow the membership in these beautiful three categories: the community clubs, the corporate clubs, and the general clubs. So we will hear about the corporate clubs first from Toastmaster Taqi Abdullah. Toastmaster Taqi, your club has about 29 members in your club. So can you share with us some of your secrets? How are you attracting or motivating your employees to join the club or maintain them in your club?
Yeah, you shocked me there when you said 90, but yeah, thank you. So we hunt the new guy. He always says yes, or she always says yes. That's the easy way. But no, on a more serious note, you can imagine for a corporate club, we have a limited pool. Most probably, most of the employees would have heard about Babco Toastmasters in their journey. And that's why it's easier to target the newer generations than those who have already been exposed to the Toastmasters before. What we do in Babco Toastmasters is, I think the most important thing to get more members and to maintain the members is the management support. So because we have the management support in Babco, that's why the meetings are continuing, because the management see the potential benefits of Toastmasters. That's why they are supporting the club itself. So from that point, even department managers, we have around 3 or 4 members who are actually managers in their respective departments or general managers. And these, because they saw the benefit of Toastmasters, they are encouraging their employees or their teams to also join the club. So that's one side of it. The other side of it is PR. I think the challenge here is to show the employees, the potential members, that you are not going to only benefit from your journey in Babco Toastmasters Club, but you are going to experience something different. And as DTM Kajetan said, we tend to focus on our field. If it's a safety community, if it's an oil and gas company, this is most probably what you're going to hear most of the time. But in Babco Toastmasters Club, what we're doing, we're diversifying these topics, these subjects. So the most random themes happened since I joined the Babco Toastmasters Club. The last one we had was about superheroes. And before that, it was diversity. So that kind of thing shows the employees that it's a different kind of environment other than the engineering part of it. And that's how you also maintain your members in the club. Back to you.
Excellent. That's excellent. Really good to hear that from Master Taqi. So let's talk about let's talk about community clubs and hear from distinguished Toastmaster Cajetan Barreto. How is it different in community clubs? What can community clubs do to attract more members?
Thank you, Maram. As in Toastmasters, let me tell you a story, because stories is what connects to your audience. And my story, especially as an example, is of a member. I remember when ASSP started their meetings, this member had joined and he couldn't speak English and he used to struggle. He used to get scared to go on the stage and speak. But I encouraged him, do your icebreaker, doesn't matter, speak. And very soon he started this idea, I can speak, even though I don't speak English very well. So because it's a community, they have this annual gatherings where hundreds of people come in a 5-star hotel, and you have the potential now to attract a lot of members. Because if you can showcase Toastmasters in these events where all the entire community meets, that's a very good opportunity which we should take. So we asked for a speaking slots for showcasing Toastmasters, and we gave this guy an opportunity to speak in front of hundreds of people in a big stage, and he was so scared. He said, should I do this? I encouraged him. He went on the stage and he gave his speech. Whatever the speech might be, people were shocked afterwards. Dinesh standing there on the stage and giving a speech, they signed up so many new members that time. By the way, the person I'm talking about is Dinesh Kumar Pal. Many of you all must have seen him roaming around all the clubs and areas and division and district. He has now transformed himself and he is the VP education of that club now. He brings members. So the idea here is that you have plenty of opportunities because this societies, these communities meet quite regularly, obviously not now, but otherwise. And by showcasing, we in this ASSP, for example, we put up a stall every time they have their annual meetings. This is the Toastmaster with material. People come. So you have the prospects coming to you, asking about it, and they see their fellow members able to stand and deliver confidently and then take up all these roles and responsibilities. And you can then you can sign up new members from the community, grow and keep thriving. So that's my recommendation. All communities, whenever you get an opportunity where all the community meets, push for membership by showcasing what you do well. Over to you.
That is really great. Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Cajetan. That was really, really wonderful. I think, yeah, we need to utilize such events more, whether it is going to be virtual from now on or whether they're physical. So let us tackle now about the designing aspect of it. I'll start with, I'll address this to distinguished Toastmaster Neda Kambar. So as a graphic designer with years of experience, how can designing and public relations be utilized to engage members and help them increase a club's membership? So what are the different strategies we should incorporate, especially whether it is in general clubs or corporate clubs or community clubs, to achieve that membership growth as graphic designers? Distinguished Toastmaster Neda Kambar.
Thank you, Toastmaster Maram, for that question. Well, the first thing we have to actually figure out when you're designing something is what message you want to put out. Like what distinguished Toastmaster Nancy had mentioned, every member and every VP PR is a brand ambassador of Toastmasters. So the first message, like I said, is what do you want to put out? And Toastmasters' message that everyone should actually continue to do is to promote what Toastmasters is, where leaders are made. Once we figure that out, once we get that solid, we can merge that with our own message for the club. So for example, young adult Toastmasters clubs, or like, for example, you have a club meeting and your club meeting is, for example, talk, lead, and inspire. That's your theme. And you have to merge that with where leaders are made. So if you think about it in a poster, I would love to show you my screen, but I don't have anything prepared. But if you show it in the poster, just imagine the words talk, lead, and inspire. And then on the corner, where leaders are made. And then in a tiny tagline, you can say something like, utilize or unleash the power within through public speaking and leadership. Join our meeting today. So at this time and this place via Zoom. Yeah. So if you think about it like that, so the first thing is to figure out what message you want to put out. The next thing is to understand your target audience. It doesn't stop with just designing a poster. You have to figure out who the poster is for. So coming back to the Young Adult Toastmasters Club, the general audience, the target audience for that club is Generation Y, Generation Z. So these are young adults. These are young people between the ages of 18 to 30, 35 to 40, something like that. And once we understand the target audience, and I'm not talking about the general thing, which is age, gender. We're talking about what that person is interested in. What do they like to do? How can you as a club help them? So once we figure out your target audience, so we've got the message, we figure out your target audience, and then you can start designing your actual poster. So for the Generation Y, Generation Z, if you think about it now, all the posters are very flashy. They're very bold. They want to see something fun. They want to see a nice photo of members laughing, and then they want to understand, why am I looking at this photo? Why am I looking at this poster? So the idea is, ask the question, what can the club, as a member, what can the club offer the audience? But knowing that, you can easily go ahead and design the poster you want. So so coming in, think about it. What target audience do you want to attract? Who do you want to attract? How can you help them? You can even, like what Distinguished Toastmaster Kajitan was mentioning, he had a success story as a type of PR scheme, right? You can publicize that. You can use that in a poster, have that person's face photo over there, and you can describe one of our success stories in the bottom as a highlight. And you can even put in the Toastmaster logo. It says where leaders are made. And then description, you can inform them how the club helped this member. That will attract the audience. That will attract people to come into the club and be like, oh, I need this help. I need help in public speaking. I need help in presenting my assignments in class, in university. And that's why people would be joining. Know your target audience, understand what theme you want to have. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, when designing a poster, keep it simple. It doesn't matter what age group or who you're targeting when it comes to this. Every poster has to be simple, clear, direct, and straightforward. Have the tagline or the theme, have the information as to when, where, what the meeting is going to be. Or if it's a campaign, you can even just say, this is a campaign for this one. Tagline, that's it. No need to fill it with a bunch of who the MC is, who is speaking, or if you want to put it in a separate poster, go ahead and do it. But keep it very nice and simple. Cramming everything into the poster will easily be scrolled through in Facebook or Instagram. No one wants to see that. So keep it nice, simple. To summarize, exactly.
Thank you so much for that. That's really great strategies. But let's just tackle about more of the role of the public relations manager. So the term 2016-2017 was a memorable one because it was the last term where District 20 consisted of 7 countries, which was very challenging. However, DTM Nancy Vijoy made it with flying colors. So DTM Nancy, tell us, how did you help your clubs in the district as a PRM in terms of membership growth? What type of special communication did you have or you used to foster the public awareness and publicize Toastmasters among different members of society? DTM Nancy, are you with us?
Hello, Toastmasters, and especially good evening to a district PRM. I'm sorry, just got logged out quickly. I'm back again. So, district PRM, Madam, could you please repeat your question again? It got disconnected in between.
Sure. So I would like to know, or we would like to know, as the public relations manager for the district, how did you help your clubs in the district in terms of membership growth? What type of special communication did you use to foster public awareness, publicize Toastmasters among these members and the members of society in general?
There was one prime method that I used, like I reiterated earlier: acknowledgement and appreciation of members right from the grassroots level. So, and then they did the PR that was needed for the district, which got us international recognition that year. And the year that we were doing was when District 20 was the biggest. We had 17,500 plus memberships. It was not an easy job. And so I'll call out a couple of things that we did. First and foremost, as a district office, we called out for all division directors to introduce their division PRs. Division PRs introduce their areas PRs, and area PRs introduce their club PRs. So even if it was a club level PR, they got their recognition as a regular member. Second, equal opportunities were given to everybody. It didn't matter whether you were a person in a leadership position. It didn't matter. The only thing that mattered is whether you were a member. Were you motivated? Do you want to contribute? That's it. You do not have to be a leader to contribute. So how did we do this? Is by allowing every single promotion from the club. If it was a club newsletter, we would keep it on the website. We would allow them to put it on the website. So the clubs were motivated because they wanted their clubs to get this recognition. And what would happen is that the person, probably the editor of the newsletter or the people behind it, would start sharing all the links from the district website into their personal social media pages. That itself was working as a great powerhouse of the PR. So when think about me or my friends seeing something like, hey, look, my work is up there. Do you want to know what the Toastmasters is all about? Join us. It contains such strong message. There's a relationship that's being built. Another thing that we focused on during the year 2016-17 was that we kept a strong watch and grip on social media. WhatsApp groups, Facebook groups were all coordinated. We had one unified district voice. Any message that would go out from the district would go from the district PR. There was one unified voice. So which means there was consistency in branding. Every flyer, like how TM Nada had explained earlier, there was consistency and there was a strong message that was being sent out. And the same message was being cascaded by me as a district PR that year. The same thing was being cascaded by the division directors and everybody. So there was one unified voice, and that got Toastmaster International's attention. They're like, what's happening in District 20? How is it that they're getting so much promotion? What are they doing? And that's when they started approaching us to know what we were doing differently. So even this year, like I would like to bring out the example of Elite Challengers Toastmasters Club. The way they go down to a personalized message level. This is my fourth message, which is the most important tactic that we had followed that year, is that there was a personalized message for each poster. Along with consistency, there was a sense of belonging that was created with each member. Each member felt a sense of responsibility to talk about Toastmasters, about their club. Each member started bringing another member. Like, this is a tough time. This is a tough era, but it's easy to just ask your friend, you know, there's something going on. Can we be a part of it? Just come, just watch what's happening. And that cannot be forced. That has to come from within. And that's where we need to hold, you know, just like how Elite Challengers had done. If you watch their social media pages, you'll understand what I'm talking about. You know, that personalized approach and creating that sense of belonging.
That is lovely, DTM Nancy, and I think that is really great to actually address and do differently, I'd say, this time. But let us talk about more let us tackle more about general ideas and creativity. And we want to hear from our other panelists. So to our audience here tonight and to all the clubs in the district, what can the Vice President Public Relations and Club Executive Committee and members do differently, especially in these tough times, to motivate members and boost their membership roster? So let us hear first from DTM Kajetan.
Thank you, madam. In general, whether it is a corporate club or a community club or a general club, in this situation that we are in, my opinion is basically what our district director, DTM Mohammed Salim, keeps saying, and I believe he's in the audience, he has entered. Yes, great. Is actually to tell your prospective members what they can get out of it. And the best way, the best tool that we have in our disposal, the toolbox that is available for us is Speechcraft. And if we could do more Speechcraft events where we give, and it in these days of virtual and online meetings, we don't have to really spend anything. If we were doing a traditional Speechcraft, we had to buy the material, we had to rent space, but we could do Speechcraft, get the club level, start a Speechcraft program, even within your current club meetings, allocate some time so that you sort of groom the next level of potential members, give them speaking opportunities, not just table topics, give them speaking opportunities, let them grow through the Speechcraft program. And at the end of the day, they themselves will see that the benefit is there. And here's my money. I'm the member. I want to be a member. This is in my opinion, the need of the hour for any club, even if for corporates, community, or general. Let's start doing more and more Speechcrafts. Over to you.
That's very interesting, DTM Kajetan. What about Toastmaster Taqi? Do you have any different views on the matter?
I believe we can. So the most important thing for us as corporate clubs is to take advantage of the company resources. If you are in a corporate club, start taking advantage of the company resources, the website, their Instagram, get a connection with the PR in the company so that anything that you're doing, they will be also publicizing. Another thing is to show employees, as DTM Kajetan said, show them what they can get out of it. And that's by showcasing success stories. And I'm not talking about only success stories in Toastmasters, like achievements in Toastmasters, but also achievements in the company. If they show that, if we can show that Toastmasters who are employees who are also Toastmasters tend to gain or to get into more leadership positions or get faster progress, and they can speak better and they can contribute in conferences more, that brings motivation to other employees as well to join the Toastmasters. And it has been going on. And for example, in my department, we have more than 5 employees or 6 employees out of 30 who are already in Toastmasters and Babco Toastmasters Club. And the main reason is because we've seen examples of those who went to Toastmasters, succeeded, have been able to speak better, have been able to deliver better presentations, to contribute better in meetings, and so on and so forth.
That's
So,
great.
yeah, from that perspective, I think it is showing it. Yeah.
That's great, Toastmaster. Thank you so much. So let's just hear from DTM Nada. What would the VPPR do or the XCOM do differently this time?
Thank you, Toastmaster Maram. 2 things. Videos. Videos is a great thing because these days everybody just scrolls through Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn, and videos is really eye-catching. And so perhaps like what I mentioned earlier, the success stories like distinguished Toastmaster Kajetan mentioned earlier, having a success story. So taking a video of that person's story, posting it on social media would really help. The current trend, if you want to go on that boat, is TikTok. So if the club wants to tackle TikTok for something fun to help attract more audience, if you want to attract a younger audience, or you'd be surprised as to how many people are on TikTok. So you can go on that train and have fun with that. So really showing that the club is having fun would really attract the audience and new members. And again, thinking of the idea, what can you as a club offer the audience? The other thing is to participate in outside club sessions, outside club gatherings, whether it's virtual or I suggest very virtual. So for example, hosting a virtual game night with the club just to bring in the members a little bit closer. And if you figure that you understand how to do that, you can invite outside potential members to join in. And if you want to order some food and have a nice Zoom conversation with the club over a certain theme for about 30 minutes to an hour, that can help as well. Just keeping the community of the club and the family of the club stronger would really help. So just these two things, videos and outside meetings sessions, outside club meeting sessions.
That's wonderful, DTM Nanda. That's really great. Thank you so much. So DTM Nancy Vijoy, final words of inspiration and motivation to our club this term from a fellow past public relations manager.
District 20, it's been a tough time, but hey, we've moved together till now. You've heard expert advice from TM Taki, from DTM Kejetan, TM Nada, and everybody here. Now it's our time to support the district. It's our time to help the district achieve its missions and visions. And the only way we can do it is by following all those strategies that our other panelists have said. And I will focus again on three most important points to sum up what we said: PR planning, execution, evaluation of the results, getting the feedback, correcting it. One unified voice and one unified stand as a district. Self-motivated members through acknowledgement who are brand ambassadors. Nothing is impossible. Every target is achievable. All we need to do is to extend our support to the district and help our goals, our personal goals as members, align with the club, the area, the division, and the district goal. District 20 can achieve it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, DTM Nancy Vijoy. That's really great. And let us give our panelists a warm round of applause. That was really wonderful. So we will now open the floor for the question and answer session. We actually have two questions, and they are addressed to DTM Kejetan Barreto. We have the first question says, how to address membership in communities that have a language barrier where the majority of people are not comfortable in speaking in English. What ideas can we implement to bring in more members?
Okay. Thank you for that interesting question. I might not be able to answer specifically because generally the community clubs that I am associated with, the medium of speaking has been always English. So safety professionals, or whether it's engineers or doctors. But as I said, the success story that I gave as an example of this person, and he used to always say that he studied English in a Hindi medium. In essence, the teachers were teaching him English in Hindi. Can you imagine? So yes, and most of the safety professionals, they come from variety of backgrounds, and English is not their medium of speaking native language. So they do struggle. But when they see, especially in the community club, my experience is that they see the rest of them make equal number of mistakes. So then they have that, the fear sort of disappears because, okay, if he can make a mistake, I can also make a mistake. And then they start taking up the speaking projects, and slowly by slowly you see the growth in them.
Thank you so much, DTM Kejetan. Another method I've seen implemented in other clubs is that, for example, they have dedicated meetings for their language. So instead of keeping it entirely in English, maybe every once in a while, or if they're meeting twice a month, maybe one meeting could be in English and one meeting could be in the other language. So that's
absolutely, yes.
That's one of the methods. Let us hear from our District 20 Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Muhammad Salim.
Thank you, Toastmaster Maram, for inviting me here. So I am not sure whether I am here as an past district PRM. I also served as an PRM, but they didn't invite me. It's quite, I feel sorry that I was not invited as a PRM here. Okay, now talking about the PRM before I served as a PRM was Toastmaster Nancy, and she was even published in the Toastmaster International magazine as one of the best PRM actually. So she is the one who set the trends. Even before that, actually, Toastmaster Noor Mohammed from Kuwait has been a wonderful PR actually. I learned a lot from Toastmaster Noor because he's a professional PR and he really made us really understand what are the brand colors, brand font. That is where the trend started actually. And I also served as a PRM. It was a unique experience for me actually. During my tenure as PRM, actually, I focused more on not on the brand colors and the font because that was overused. And what I really emphasized was at the brand itself. Now, talking about the brand, what is the brand actually? Are we talking about the logo or we are talking about the Toastmaster International? That's not the focus of it actually. Our brand is, we as Toastmasters are the brand of the Toastmasters. We are the ambassadors of Toastmasters and we represent the brand. Now, how do we take this brand forward is how we interact with the community outside the four walls of Toastmasters meeting. We are Toastmasters within the Toastmasters meeting, but outside when we go there, are we interacting as Toastmasters? Are we showcasing ourselves as good Toastmasters? That is what really makes a lot of difference actually. See now, for example, today we had a wonderful session by Angels Toastmasters, and we had one of the famous fashion model actually, Dr. Ajiti. And unfortunately, I didn't see a lot of men over there. I saw only few men, and most of them were ladies actually. So I didn't see even Renosh coming there or Toastmaster Raja or Kejetan coming in there because I was very eager to see Aditi over there. The point here is that we could have marketed this event actually to men more than to ladies actually. So, I mean, these are the types wherein we can reach out to members of Toastmasters, non-Toastmasters, tell them that, see, we have a lineup of celebrities, speakers. We could have had at least 300 to 400. I'm not complaining anyone actually for that matter. Even for that matter, now we have around 20, 30 participants, actually 36 participants roundly. Now, let me share a small story here. I hope I'm not taking too much of time. I just want to share a story, which I normally share with most of the Toastmasters meetings. A son and a father saw a camel, and the son asked the father, "Father, why is there are lashes in the eyes of the camel?" The father said, "Because it is in the desert, there might be dust coming in, so that you need to protect from dust." And why is that the feet is such in fashion? Because it walks on sand, so that it has to have a grip over that. And why is the hump in the back? Because it stores water. The son asked, "What is the camel doing in the zoo?" Similarly, we in Toastmasters actually promote Toastmasters within four walls of Toastmasters. Now, how many of us have invited our fellow members and telling that, see, we have a marketing workshop, we have a PR workshop. It will really help you in branding. Not many, there are many people with only with PR skills have become greater heights. They have reached in their personal and their professional career because of the PR skills. I'm sure Toastmasters would really help, the branding would really help them to improve in their PR skills and promote themselves in their organization within their community also. So what we need to do is, we need to add value to whatever we are doing. Like likely mentioned by Toastmaster Kejetan, sorry, DTM Kejetan, is that the Speechcraft program. So how many of you are taking this outside to the non-members actually? One question was that how are we going to cater to the members who are not familiar with the English language? For that matter, I'll give you one good example. We had a Speechcraft program for the blue collar job, the members of the community who are not familiar with the language, whereas they have in a supervisor or they're not much familiar with. But thing is, they know English. It's not that they don't know how to speak English, but thing is, they have a lot of grammatical errors. They can't form a sentence. They were just like, in a primitive stage. So what we did was we started with a Speechcraft program, brought in some confidence, and we made them into a Toastmasters club. And this club actually really existed for more than 4 years actually, but certain reasons it couldn't sustain. These members actually Speakeasy Toastmasters Club was one of the big hit in terms of Toastmaster community. This is what I really feel like giving back to the community is how you reach out to the members actually. It's not that we target only the white collar members actually, people who are working in a high profile. No, they really don't need actually. If you really want to give back to the community, reach out to members of the community where you can serve them actually. Take out as a challenge, pick 20 members from the blue collar community, form a Toastmasters club and groom them so that there is a champion from them actually. If you can do that, it's a wonderful thing. See, because the good example is that those gentlemen, I am not disrespecting them actually. Initially, they were not even, properly dressed actually. After a couple of years, the way they dressed was like suit and stuff. Even they don't, I mean, it doesn't matter why suit. It's even in Ramesh here, it's available for 15 dinar, 20 dinar. Wearing a suit doesn't make you any, but making you confident enough to wear that suit is what matters. So you need to empower these individuals, find out those individuals, do a speechcraft program, don't leave them there itself. Because it's not that they cannot speak. I mean, there is a wrong notion that they cannot speak. There was once actually I had did a speechcraft program wherein I went to them, I asked them some questions and they were very much afraid to speak in front of the audience. What I did, I just called 3 of the members, I mean from the same community, and I told them sit down and talk about, for example, let me give an example. These 3 people were from Kerala. So how do I initiate a discussion was I told them talk about CPM and CPI or the politics in Kerala. Believe me, they went on non-stop for 15 minutes. They kept on talking about it. It was a discussion within them. That means they can speak. Only thing is the hurdle comes. Now I picked up 3 North Indian guys. I told them, why don't you talk about Hema Malini and Dharmendra and Aishwarya Rai, and they kept on talking actually. So what happens is that it is not that they want to talk something which they can really connect to, not just anything they can speak. So you need to identify what is their interest. Not everyone in Toastmasters wants to improve communication. There are few people in Toastmasters who join to develop their network. So see, for example, one of the club in Bahrain is GPIC Toastmasters. The catch there was like, if you want to get a promotion, you need to have completed CC. If you want to complete your next promotion, you should have completed your AC. So what happens there, the motivating factor was the promotion actually. So they did start working on their CC and ACs. Like Babco Toastmasters, I got inspired from Babco Toastmasters. My value-added Toastmaster program started from Babco Toastmasters. The way they reach out to the community is what we need to do. One good example is with Toastmaster Renosh, what we did with Renosh in the church actually. We first met the father and we explained the Toastmasters, it didn't work out. Then we changed the tone of it. Actually, we told them we are going to give you a platform so that the community can benefit out of it. That was our thing actually. When I went to the biggest corporation in the Middle East, YK Almay Toastmasters, I assured them that this will be a community reach program. It will not be an in-house 20-member program actually. If you have an organization of 2,000 members, if you're catering only for 20 members within that organization, that means we have failed as a Toastmaster actually. We need to make sure that these 20 members go and reach out to the members. They do programs for YLP, Speechcraft. We do have the Train the Trainer program. All these programs are in-house programs which are built for such wonderful corporations. So Toastmasters is not that within the 4 walls of Toastmasters. Take it beyond that. And I'm sure that we are the brand, we are the ambassadors of Toastmasters. We need to project what we are as Toastmasters. We can't have masks, particularly in Toastmasters. We need to wear, for the social distancing, we need to wear masks, but we cannot as Toastmasters differentiate when we reach out to the public. We can't have different masks. You have a mask of Toastmasters. When you are in a Toastmasters meeting, when you go out, you become a common member. No, you are not identified. You need to be a Toastmaster, a brand everywhere. One such personality I want to acknowledge here is Toastmaster Nada Kambar. No matter what, whenever you want her, you can reach out to her actually. And the best part in that, if you just visit their page, Kambar, they are a designing company, and designing company tries to make money out of it. You know what they did? They have this Halloween coming in and they have posted some vectors and images. They said, please come and download for free. Why should they do it as a marketing company? Again, marketing is different, but reaching out to the community, helping the community is the most important thing. So let's serve the community. We are the ambassadors. We have to be as Toastmasters. We speak same language, no matter what it is actually. It be English or Malayalam or Tamil. We are the ambassadors of Toastmasters, and we need to be as Toastmasters wherever we go. Thank you very much. Over to you, Master.
Thank you so much, Didi. That was truly inspiring to hear that such versatile experiences from, of course, a veteran Toastmaster like yourself. So we actually have a couple of questions in line. Queue, let's say. This is also related to community clubs, but I will give the liberty to DTM Kajetan to either answer it or maybe refer it to another panelist. So the question is, there's a limitation or restriction in rolling out public relation flyers and posters being a sensitive issue due to regulations within the community. So how can we address that? Or is it possible to post flyers and posters in community language?
I'll defer this to somebody else if he wants to take up, because I haven't encountered it and I don't like to speak unless I'm experienced in it.
Would any of the panelists would like to answer the question? Perhaps DTM Neda would like to, or Toastmaster Taqiyam.
Can you repeat the question?
The question is, there is a limitation or restriction in making flyers related to be for the public relations officer to make flyers and posters because it's a sensitive issue due to the regulations within the community. So how can they address this? Or is it possible to post the flyers or posters in a community language? So basically in a language that is other than English.
Okay, the first part of that question, if I can take it up. Due to the restrictions of the community, you can't post that many posters. So quick answer to that would be, like I said before, to keep everything simple and direct. If you're posting it up in a physical board, keep it very simple. If you're posting it up on Facebook or Instagram or in a group on Facebook or Instagram, you can put as much detail into the description of the post and then make the poster really simple and eye-catching. As for making it in a different language, I think that's possible. I'm not so sure, but as long as it's mentioned that the meeting is conducted in English, then if it's conducted in English, then yeah. If it's conducted in a different language like Arabic, then you can just have to mention that as well. So I hope that answers it.
I think so. Yeah, it does. It does. Basically, you can make posters in a language other than the English language. If your meeting is in English, just make sure that it is there in the poster that the meeting is in English. Or perhaps we can take up one of the suggestions that was made out earlier. So maybe you can have an English meeting in 1 month, or another language meeting in the same month, for example, or in another meeting. Before we continue with our questions that are lined up, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of the immediate past Region 11 advisor, Distinguished Toastmaster Ali Shahbaz Ali. Welcome, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. One of the questions I would like DTM Nancy to answer this question. One of the questions that was posted is, why should I stay in Toastmasters during such times?
TM, madam, what time? Such times as in, do you mean pandemic?
Yes, yes.
Because Toastmaster gives you so much more than what you pay for. That would be my first answer to this. So what exactly is that Toastmasters gives? A community. It's more than just a group of people being together. It's much more. Because when you just consider this thing, you lost your job during a pandemic. Who do you reach out to? Which is your biggest circle that you can rely on? Toastmasters. You need help in preparing for something. You would have friends, but where do you find the pool of people that you can reach out to? Toastmasters. Personal life. A blood donation campaign that's happened recently. Where can you bring in the biggest pool of people? Toastmasters. What more reasons do you need? You want to hang out with a couple of cool friends. Where do you find them? Toastmasters. So during this pandemic, in this difficult time, why should you reach out? Why should you still be a Toastmaster? Because it offers so much more if you're willing to take it, more than just being leaders, or more than just public relationship. It builds relationships. And when a community gives you so much, it is your personal responsibility to be its brand ambassador. Over to you, Tia Madam.
Thank you so much.
If I may add to what DTM Nancy said regarding why should I join, I would like to have my 1 minute of opinion on this.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
In fact, this is the best time to join Toastmasters, because what happens is, as DTM Nancy said, COVID-19, that's the new normal. You see the same type of meetings happening at office too. Everyone is doing online meetings. They're meeting their vendors, they're meeting their customers, they're meeting their board members, all through Teams meeting or Zoom, whatever the case might be. Important business is happening online, which means those who are practicing it regularly in the clubs, understanding how to be presentable in an online environment, have a big advantage at work, because now you can show that your communication is really effective while others are struggling. And so this is a good opportunity for you to upgrade your skills, especially in an online world.
Thank you so much, DTM Kajatin. That was really great. And again, thank you so much, DTM Nancy. Both of your answers were really inspiring and motivating. We actually have another question that I would like to direct it to Toastmaster Taqi. It says, what's the role of the PR to maintain members? So I think this was already answered, but maybe Toastmaster Taqi, would you like to highlight once again the main points that were discussed during our panel discussion?
Of course. So PR is the headline of maintaining members. But without PR, it is difficult to maintain or to grow your club. The role is to showcase your club, showcase your members, show the successes that your club is getting, and your members' achievements. This is one part of it. The other part is you are the link not only to the members that you are dealing with, but to the community outside your club. So you're showing the outside community, the world, through the internet now, what your club is achieving and what your club is giving to the community itself. And that kind of work can only be achieved by good PR. So yeah, that's about it.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster.
I hope that sums it up. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that was really great. I think we have reached to the end of our question and answer session, as I see there are no more questions. But in case, if any of the members would like to or have any questions, they can either reach out to the Public Relations Manager, myself, on the email that is mentioned on the agenda, or any of the events organizers. And with that, I'd like to hand the control back to the Master of Ceremonies and hope everybody benefited from today's session. Back to you, Toastmaster Janita.
Thank you, Toastmaster Maram, and thank you, distinguished panel of members and Toastmasters, for sharing your ideas, your views. It was definitely an enriching workshop, and I'm sure all of us new novices have got a pretty good idea as to why PR marketing does play a vital role in our lives. So, dear friends, what's an event without recognition and photos, right? So let us invite this blogger, cloud enthusiast, machine learning enthusiast, engineer by profession, who is currently working in Manai Technical Services. Current VP Education at the Indian Academy Toastmasters Club, member of Voice of Islam Toastmasters Club, the Assistant Club Growth Director in Division I, Toastmaster Raja to conduct the photo session and certificate distribution. Toastmaster Raja, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Master of Ceremonies, Toastmaster Junita. It's a chance to, I'm proud to say I am under the leadership with the Junita. We are working together in Indian Academy Toastmaster Club. So really we are energetic to increase our members. That is 10 times our member growth. Sure. So I could like to take photographs, but we need your 10 times bigger than smile, normal smile. 1, 2. Yes, cheese. Once again. Thank you. Now I remember hearing someone say, develop an attitude of gratitude and gives thanks for everything that happens to you, knowing that every step forward is a step forward achieving something bigger and better than your current situation. So please let us at Area 33, thank you for the valuable insight that you have given us in today's discussion, and also to role players who have helped us to wonderful session completed. Please let me present the certificate of appreciation. Let me share the screen. Let me invite Toastmaster, our panelist, Toastmaster Taki Abdullah. Please accept our appreciation certificate. Next, we would like to invite DTM Sajatan Barato. Please accept our certification of appreciation, sir. Next panelist, our DTM Nada Kambar. Please accept our certification appreciation. Next, our panelist, DTM Nancy George Viju. Please accept our certificate of appreciation. Next, of course, our rockstar moderator, TM Mara Malradi. Please accept our certification of appreciation. Of course, next, our role players. Today is the main role players of Toastmaster Renosh Korean Thomas, Sajada Norms. Please accept our certification of appreciation. Second, our Master of Ceremonies, rockstar always, Toastmaster Junita. Please accept our certification of appreciation. Next, of course, timer is important. Toastmaster Tamil Chelvi, please accept our certification of appreciation. Thank you very much. And back to Master of Ceremony.
Thank you, Toastmaster Raja, for bringing a smile onto our faces. So now, next off, here we have with us the crown bearer of District 20. He joined Toastmasters 18 years back as a member of Adari Toastmasters Club, served many leadership roles in club, area, division, and also district levels. He has been serving as the district leader for the last few years as a logistic manager, CGD, PQD, and is currently the District 20 Director. Let us all wholeheartedly welcome District 20 Director, DTM Mohammed Salim.
Thank you, Master of Ceremonies. Thank you very much for the wonderful introduction. Now let me acknowledge the presence of our immediate past regional advisor, DTM Ali Shahbaz Ali, our Club Code Director, DTM Khalid Abdullah, our Division I Director, DTM Ila Murugu, the celebrity or the queen of the day, actually, Toastmaster Faridabai Tanzir. Actually, I could see all the smiles. So all the panelists, actually, to start with Toastmaster Maram, Toastmaster KJ10, DTM KJ10, DTM Nada Kambar, and DTM Nancy for being here, gracing this occasion. Actually, this is a wonderful start for PR workshop. We need to have more workshop like this, and we can really make the value of what PR is there. Actually, I really missed Toastmaster Taki. Thank you very much, Taki, for being here and sharing your thoughts. Now, this is where we need to impart knowledge and most of the members actually to take the brand actually, because there are members who are not aware of the PR awards. We need to take it up to the members and tell them that these are the PR awards. You can really participate. I remember there used to be, when Nancy and myself were the district PRM, there used to be huge fight. Why my poster was not selected? Why this poster was selected? Did you not notice that the font was different? Font is, but I don't see that type of issues happening. So I want to just start this issue so that we can have more awareness actually. Through conflict comes more awareness to the members actually. So Maram, just pick out a poster which is not according to the branding and create some noise so that members would really come out and say that why is that poster was selected where the font is not being adapted, whereas my font is being adapted. They used to be on particular colors also. They used to be why this shade of blue is being accepted, whereas this blue is not being accepted. There are a lot of issues. So, I mean, the objective is not to, create conflict and have fun here, but to create more awareness actually. So use this platform to create more awareness to the members. And I'm sure this is not about colors actually. To be very honest, Toastmasters at the end of the day are not being particular because they want the brand image to be maintained, because we can't have a pink color or a, rose or a violet color on the, and it becomes a bit awkward actually. We do have our own colors actually. Colors is fine actually, but we need to go a little bit out of the way and trying to make things much different actually. And there should be some sort of a spice to that actually. So try to have more conflict with your awards so that the members would reach out actually. I remember Toastmaster Raymond used to always come and say that no, why is that poster not being selected? Why is that this poster is being selected? It's not that he is not one actually, but it's more of awareness and more of belonging, self-belonging, telling that see, I have taken so much of time and creating a poster, whereas you have given to another person. This should not be the case. So let them also invest more time, come out with creative ideas, show their talents actually. I'm sure this workshop will really, more workshops will come, and we'll be having more of the presenters coming in, and it will be a wonderful awareness. I would like to thank once again the Division I Director, DTM Ila Murugu, and Toastmaster Faridabai Tanzir for this wonderful initiative, and the head of PR, Toastmaster Raja Manikam, for all the efforts in making this successful. So thank you very much. Good night to all.
Thank you so much, District 20 Director, for your kind, encouraging, and motivating words. Now, amongst us, we have an eminent and prominent personality. I know that he's an artificial intelligence enthusiast, and also we all know that he has received so many accolades in district, division, and area and club level. So I would like to request our region level advisor, DTM Ali Shahbaz Ali, to share a few words with us.
Hello and good evening, our district director, club growth director, our PRM. Wonderful to see our district officers, including good friend Kajetan, whom I can relate to our district PR business since 5 to 6 years is more like Kajetan's facial expression. You see, in 2011, when we started the branding, it was during the term of, I forgot who was the international president. So what happened in that term, the board decided, that's it, we are going to go full-fledged on branding. We are going to make the Toastmasters brand a class among all the non-profit organizations in the world. So what happened here is just like Kajetan $1 million smile. We all wait for it. When is this man going to smile? So the branding took off this way. We didn't respect it. It's just there, plain and simple. And today it's smiling. So sometimes people used to say, Cajetan, please smile. So today the brand is flourishing, just like Cajetan's smile. Jokes apart, when I saw the lineup of speakers today in the poster, Nancy, Cajetan, Maram, and many other people, I can't recall the names. Apologies for that. I was like, this is the right generation in terms of leadership, not in terms of age, but in terms of leadership, who are coming forward and giving their time. Another Kambar, of course, who are giving their time to all of us to create that branding awareness. In one of my meetings with the diplomats, he plain and simple told me straight on my face. His son actually attended one of the meetings and he had seen the agenda. He told me, is this Toastmasters you're talking about since 1964 in the Middle East? I thought this is some big diplomats coming here, and when he showed me the picture of the agenda, I was embarrassed. I didn't have any words to say. Not that agenda was out of the line, but there were grammatical errors, font sizes not same, simple things which a diplomat saw, and he was like, should I send my son to such an environment where even the font size you are saying where leaders are made, but the agenda is not proper? So that hit me so badly, and I took branding very seriously. And I'm lucky that we had I put so much burden on Nancy. You know, when we were 7 countries, I don't know how she survived with me being her district director at that time. I think she should get some kind of award for that. But again, the way it was picked later by the leaders, and as I see today, very able person, Maram Al Aradi, she just, I don't know what went wrong. She just woke up one day from the bed and she said, I'm going to work on branding from now. I never thought that the Maram I know will be a branding expert. Cajetan, there are so many examples. So thanks a lot, leaders, for all what you are doing. And I just came in because to encourage all of you, branding is the life of our organization. We cannot go out with being best speakers without knowing little bit about branding. People will laugh back at us. You see, so it's very important. Thank you very much. Over to you.
Thank you, DTM Ali Shahbaz Ali, for gracing this occasion with your presence. It was truly inspiring. It's truly said, there is always, always something to be thankful for. To present the vote of thanks, let me invite this Toastmaster who strongly believes that learning never stops, which is why she started her journey in Toastmasters in 2019 in St. Paul's Toastmasters Club. Current club secretary, she believes that if life was fair, then all she'll do is eat, travel, and dance. Let us all welcome the head of education for this event, Toastmaster Jenny Miriam Thomas.
Distinguished Toastmasters, guests, and fellow Toastmasters, good evening. It's my privilege to have been asked to propose the vote of thanks tonight. I would like to take this opportunity to place on record our hearty thanks to the dignitaries present, despite their busy schedule and encouraging us. Division I Director, DTM Elamurgu, District 20 Director, Mohammed Salim, District 20 CGD, DTM Khalid Abdallah, District 20 PRM, TM Maram Al Aradi, and immediate past Regional Advisor, DTM Ali Shahbaz Ali. A big thank you to our panelists tonight, DTM Nancy George Vijo, DTM Nada Kamba, DTM Cajetan Bereto, and TM Taki Abdallah, for your time and efforts towards helping us achieve the objectives of the PRNM workshop. I must mention my deep sense of appreciation to you all for sharing your experiences and generating new ideas for helping the clubs in designing and building relations. Thank you, TM Maram Alaradi, for being the moderator for tonight's panel discussion and for moving it in the right direction. I would also like to personally thank you for your guidance in making this event happen. An event like this cannot happen overnight. The wheels start rolling weeks ago. It requires planning and bird's eye details. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of very motivated and dedicated colleagues of Area 33 who know their job and are result-oriented. Let me begin by extending my gratitude to our Area 33 ExCom, Area Director TM Farida Bai Tanzir, Assistant Area Director PQ TM Shinod Joan Thomas, Assistant Area Director CG TM Mohsen Ali, and PRM TM Rajamanikim, Administration Manager TM Blesson Thomas Matthew. I also extend my heartfelt gratitude to all the role players of today's workshop. Thank you, TM Rinosh Kurian Thomas, for taking up the Chief Surgeon at Arms role, and also TM Rincy and Philip for your support. Thank you, TM Ginny Johara, for helping me with the responsibilities that comes up with taking the Head of Education role. Thank you, TM Raja, for the efforts you put into wonderful flyers and video for the workshop, as well as the certificates. And to TM Robin Roy Join for extending your support. Our MC for the evening, TM Janita John, thank you for handling the program with grace despite last-minute changes. And our timer, TM Tamil Selvi, for keeping us all on track. I cannot thank everyone enough for their involvement and their willingness to take on the completion of tasks beyond their comfort zones. Once again, I want to state that we are all most grateful to all our panelists on the stage tonight. We thank you for being with us this evening. It's been a great pleasure. Thank you once again for making this program a grand success. Back to you, MC.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jenny, for your token of gratitude. It's truly said, all's well that ends well. But today's workshop ignited a new thought. All's well that builds and designs new relations. Let us invite the event chairman, Toastmaster Blesson, to adjourn today's event.
Hi, good evening, everybody. I hope you had a very amazing meeting, to be exact. So the AD messaged me right now saying that she expected the meeting to go till 9. It's not 9 yet. And the advantage I have right now is until I adjourn the meeting, none of you can leave. So anyway, before, I'm not going to keep you here. You guys can leave. It's okay. But I have to just thank one person who helped a lot. She was sitting and thanking everyone that she actually forgot to thank herself. That was the agreement that we had, that you would thank yourself also, and I would give you whatever you want if you pull that off. But clearly you were not able to. So I'm going to thank you. Thank you for thank you for tolerating me and all the messages and getting all the approvals and the intros and everything that you needed. TM Jenny, you were an amazing head of education, trust me. And the agenda, rolling it out, it was all done on time, brilliantly. And also I would definitely like to thank TM Maram also for approving all our content without any this thing. She never pressurized us much. And lastly, AD Farida for giving me this opportunity. And finally, I would like to adjourn the meeting. Take care. Bye-bye.
Good job, good job. Thank you very much to all the panelists. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Maram.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Janita. Thank you very much, Jenny, Tamil Selvi, Rinosh, Raja. I'll not thank Blesson, okay? Thank you very much, DTM Nancy, DTM Kajetan, Toastmaster Taki, Division I Director as well, Salim Sir, DTM Ali. Thank you each and everyone for your support, which you have extended to Area 33. This workshop was not only for Area 33 members, it was for all the Toastmasters. We really want Toastmasters to flourish in this pandemic. So thanks a lot once again.
You're welcome. Thank you so
Thank you,
much for
everybody.
actually
Have a
creating
nice
this.
day.
Thank you
Have a
so
nice
much.
night,
Vidya
more,
Mali.
or more like it.
Yes.
I forgot to acknowledge Taki Abdallah, and happy to see new faces in the branding world. Thank you,
Thank you,
Division
Bobo.
Director.
We have to
Ilham.
play with me now. Goodbye, everyone.
Future Toastmaster.
Oh,
Where's my
yes,
ice
yes,
cream?
yes.
Future PR. Huh?
Thank you so
That's
much.
the
Thank
junior Khalid.
He wants me to play with him now.
You have been, or actually, we have been sitting on Zoom since morning, all of us. I mean, Farida was there, Khalid was there. Oh my God. So it's not me alone. I mean, totally exhausted. But for the sake of fun, I wanted to tell the branding team. So which path, free path, are you going to recommend to the world to pick?
During this time, I think humorous.
No, I mean,
Engage.
branding team has one path which they can promote.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe that's a challenge to our district branding team. There's one path which they can promote, knowing that Toastmasters has given a free path. So which path is that?
Is it innovative planning? No. Yeah.
No, it is not innovative planning. There is one path where people can actually improve their branding skills.
Mastery presentation. Mastery.
Kind of, yes.
Is it?
Presentation mastery?
Not really, but yeah, you're getting close.
Forgot the path.
Yeah, I'm just going through the paths.
Maybe visionary communication.
Who said that?
Persuasive
Visionary. Okay,
influence.
that's more like it.
Persuasive influence?
Toastmaster Taqi said it.
Okay, it's more about vision, but there is one actually not. There is one which is related to PR strategies. Which one is
Strategic
PR?
relationships.
Strategic relationships, yeah.
Strategic relationships, exactly. So PR strategies has a big role to play over there. And when I saw people blogging, some members are not blogging keeping brand in their mind. So they just put the Toastmaster logo the way they want it. So maybe here is where that path could be promoted. That's just an idea I was thinking of.
Ali, may I say something?
Yes, yes. Who is this?
This is DTM Jervis from D98 Goa.
Hi, Jervis. Yes, most welcome.
Hi, good to finally connect with you again. Right.
Yes.
So the point I'm trying to make is that often our branding is not relevant to people who are not Toastmasters. We make branding content to Toastmasters only. And that seems to be the one issue that we have when we to attract more people. So let's look at our branding as to why somebody who's not a Toastmaster should be a Toastmaster, because we love the program. We love what we are doing. We should share the love, shouldn't we?
That's a very good point, and it has come up in one event which I was addressing before. So here is Jervis, what I look at it, or what should people think. Now, when a new member joins a Toastmaster club, this new member could be from a corporate level where he or she is very much impressed with the corporate branding itself. If we are going to intake university grads in our organization or in any club, that is okay. They wouldn't know much about branding. They are here just to build their communication and leadership skills. But if we have some top-notch people joining Toastmasters who know about branding, then there will be questions sooner or later on the club. the thing is, what the problem here is, we are taking branding as a product. It should be like this, 2 centimeters from here, 4 centimeters from there. We shouldn't give that impression. That will be a pressure, and then I agree with what you are saying. But we should take branding as a quality. Now, what happened is one incident where I was speaking in an event, and I sent my slides to our district PRM, and then she wasn't the PRM. So we had a tough talk. I mean, she said she's not going to accept this. I was like, come on, Maram, if you are not accepting it, I have to redo everything. She said, no, she has OCD when it comes to branding and she will change it. I said, okay, you go ahead and change it. Change it. So when she changed it, she took the whole night to change it, and she sent the same thing to me in the morning. I was like, my God, the same content just became more attractive. It's like it was my stubbornness. I said no. So I was looking at the content part as a speaker. She was looking at the content and quality. So same thing when it came back, I was, my God, this is amazing.